We do have a quorum, and let's do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. So move to, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
All in favor? All opposed, motion passes. And can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda? And make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second that.
All in favor? All opposed, motion carries. Thank you both. We will start off with our special presentations. Now, can I join?
Before that gets pulled up, you guys that don't know me, I'm Malachi State, and I'm the ACB president for this year, so I'll be giving your student rep board. Got some exciting things to show you guys, so. All right, back to school presentation, September board meeting. All right, we got some new staff at the high school, some new faces. Those are only ones that had their staff photos up, so I'm not leaving anybody out. But we had Jimmy Harps, which is math, Aaron Klein, which is our counselor, Liz Lacey, which is the music teacher, Dina Lawson, which is art, Iowa Corden, which is our new athletic director, and Michelle, which is our principal.
Who are those three pictures?
That's Mr. Klein on the far right, which is our counselor, Miss Lawson in the middle, which is the art, and then Miss Lacey on the far left, which is the music teacher. Got names. All right, so we have some photos from orientation and the first day of school. Freshman orientation, we started off with an assembly. They got to meet Mr. Corden, Mr. Towie. Then we played a game of, like, it's kind of similar to musical chairs, but it's where we show an item on the screen and they have to go to the crowd and try to find it. And if you're not back before the chairs are taken, you're out. So that was kind of fun. It was a student favorite from last year. And that's how we started off for that. Then they went into, of course, seeing their schedules, their classes, everything like that. On the first day of school, we did Family Feud. And I played Steve Harvey, which is one of my favorite characters to play with the bald cap. My mustache didn't last very long, but it was fun. And that was kind of the first day. They also got to meet again, then the whole school got to meet Mr. Towie, Mr. Corden. And yeah, it was really getting back into it, back into school. And then that night, we had a football game. So football, yeah. So that night we had a game versus Jervis. That was, didn't go as planned, but it was still pretty cool. We had a Eugene skydiving group skydiving the game ball, which was a lot of fun. I want to give props to Chanel for helping make that happen. She was the one that really talked with insurance and all that fun stuff. So shout out to her. But yeah, they were a lot of fun to work with. They were really excited. Especially because they're here in our community, they're over at the airport, and they were like, we would love the skydiving in the game ball. And so there's a photo of Hunter. He got to run out and get it from the skydiver. And then also today we got the paper, which had the skydiver on the front, which I thought was pretty cool. I'll read this for you guys real quick, but it just says, with a new athletic director, a new head coach, several new players in a new field, why wouldn't Creswell Bulldogs start their 2025 season off with some sky swagger? With Kenny Lawton's danger zone blasting through the speakers, the Eugene Skydivers sent one of their own from the atmosphere to soar down and deliver the game ball to Markley Field for the Bulldogs' home opener against Jervis on Friday night. The Bulldogs lost 40-6. The spectacle of the skydiver, the sea of red in the stands, and the return of Friday Night Lights was lively enough for full spectators. So anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. So got that today. They're at Sutherland this week, and then you're good. They're at Sutherland this week, and then we come home versus Cottage Grove. So that's the upcoming games. Volleyball. They won versus Coquille and Sutherland. Yeah, good job. They lost Cottage Grove last night, but they're upcoming. Isn't for another couple weeks. Can you see it on there? It's a little ways out. Might be a little zoomed out, but it's not for another couple weeks. So I think we're away.
16th.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's coming, it's a little ways out though. But yeah, so that was really cool. We played Valley Catholic. I was there for that game. We lost that Saturday, but we did beat Cook Hill, so that's always a win. Then we have soccer. Girls won versus Lapine yesterday. Boys sadly lost to OES, but it was a really tough game. The boys played really well. The girls, I believe, won the game. Oh, right. Yeah, so they did a really good job. But boys soccer, yeah, really came down to the last like 10 minutes, and yeah, it was a really good game. Cross country, I don't have a ton of photos of cross country. I tried my best. I reached out to like 7 different cross country kids. Nobody had photos, so you get double grant up there. Yeah, they have a meet next Saturday. Also, nobody would tell me where the meet was, so I asked like 4 different people. Then we also have Cheer. Cheer has been at Sutherland. They went to the Jamboree. They're going to be at Sutherland this upcoming Friday. I asked what they would like in the report, and they said that they want to tell you guys they're really working on their moves. That's what they want to do. And I was like, okay, cool. I have that one in there pretty good. Bond updates. The new canopies are getting installed or are installed. There's a photo of those in the top left corner, so that was pretty cool. We had new siding, paint, and a roof on the greenhouse. I didn't get a photo of the greenhouse, but it looks pretty cool. So if you guys come over, be sure to look at that. We had the ADA concrete by the football field, which you can see on the bottom right over there. And that was also pretty cool. I don't know if you guys were at a football game, but it definitely makes it look more lively and bright. So it was pretty nice.
So much nicer.
There's so much, yeah. Press ballot got painted, and so that also added to the color. So you can see it on the bottom left, and it's red now, which I think it looks way nicer. Made it look more lively, and they also got wires in the back for the speakers, so we don't have to keep running line. So shout out to Gil again and Chanel. New advisory. Okay, I got the lowdown from Mr. Toad earlier, so I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But what it sounds like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday is going to be interest groups. So these different staff members are going to have different interest groups that they're going to teach. The kids are able to sign up for them and participate in them. On Wednesday will still be the main win day where we're getting, the physical day where we're sitting down as, advisory and working on, whatever our topic is for that week. But I think it's really cool. I think kids, students are really going to like it. And that's going to come out at the later end of September. And then in October, right, it's going to be actually pushed out and start being in these interest groups. But I'm really excited that and that's the end. So much, I know. But main dates for you guys. Football will have versus sisters. The U of O acapella group's going to do the anthem, so that would be pretty cool. Volleyball has a home game also coming up here shortly. And soccer, yeah, they also, I'm sorry, I don't have all the dates off the top of my head, but pay attention to sports, they're all in their full swing. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Thank you.
You did a really great job announcing the game the other night.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I would give my compliments to the band too. I mean, they've been
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
They already played the national anthem.
They did.
We're playing all the way through the game. I mean,
And
that
they
was,
already passed like what 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So that was really impressive.
I would say, so I didn't watch it in person, but I watched it online, and the middle school cheerleaders at halftime were fire. I was like, oh, they brought the school brought their cheerleading team, like they did.
No,
so
that is your future cheerleader.
Yes,
team right
they
there.
were.
Wait till you see the new material that they. I don't know what's wrong. No, it's good.
Okay, thank you so much, Malachi.
Of course.
You always do a wonderful job. So next we have, sorry guys, I'm coming back to that. Miss Chanel.
Sorry.
Cafeteria.
Just a second.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
I just wanted to provide a quick food service update,
Let's start really.
Sorry.
No, you're
okay.
really fine.
I'm almost ready.
You're fine,
I'm
don't
trying
rush.
to get married.
Don't rush,
Well, as you guys know, we were with the strategic design team back many years ago. One of the highest needs that came out of that was better food, better quality for our students. So looking back to 22, oh, sorry, can we go back one?
You should hear opening slide.
Oh, okay, no, that makes sense, that's okay.
Do we go forward?
Yeah, no, thanks, sorry. Thank you.
This one?
One more.
Alright.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so it's starting in 23-24. We contracted with Walker Quality Services, and their role was to come in and help us implement more scratch food cooking, less heat and serve. So we worked with them. They were great, but we knew we could kind of take it from there. So we ended our contract after that year, and in the 24-25 school year, we kind of made our own model that you know, the things we've learned from them. So that's what we kept going. We are continuing that this year. What's this one? Well, so looking at history of pricing, I also wanted just to show, so 22-23, we were on free and reduced, for K through 12. Then we learned about the Community Eligibility Provision Program, which we all call CEP. And so we qualified in 23-24 for our K-5 group, but that kept 6 through 12 on free reduced. But then this last year, 24-25, we qualified as a district, and so we were all free K through 12. So keeping those little data points in mind, when we look at numbers, the average breakfast, which is on the next slide. Average breakfast we served this last year at Creswell was 190 breakfasts every morning. CMS was 130 and high school was 182. And then lunch, we had, on the next slide, 381 lunches for Creswell, 179 for middle school and 164 for high school. Keeping in mind that high school has an open campus, so this is about the max they'll probably ever do, because a lot of our kids like to leave. But that shows, let me go to the next one. The next one shows our growth over the years. With one point I'd like to make is that, as we know, we've had a decline in enrollment. So although we've had a decline in enrollment, we've gone other ways in the growth in food service. So a few things have helped play a role in that with our free meals for all. We've grown almost by like 20,000 meals total year over year for the last 3 years. So our food service department is doing a great job.
So going back to the slides or you don't have to go back to don't go back to that. But one of the slides that Chanel wrote there was in 22-23, we had K-12 free lunch. Well, that was due to ESSA. So when the ESSA grant ended, then we had no more free lunch or nutrition funding from the federal government. So then we had to qualify through our low SBS population. And that's how we got into K-5. And then with the persistence of the nutrition services with Chanel and the team, they were able to get it to K-12 with the applications. And continue to pursue it till we have now K-12 free lunch again, all grades.
Is that continuing this year?
Yeah, so CEP is once you are approved, you're in a 4-year cycle. So we are approved for 2 more years.
Okay, and nothing has changed at the federal level that jeopardizes that?
No,
No, not yet.
not yet, nothing. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Things I've heard was that it's not on the table as something to be discussed. And the one other thing I would say is, this is the second year now, as I'm just, finishing, like closing out books and year-end and audit stuff. This is our second year in a row that we will not transfer anything from general fund to fund 299 because it's pretty much revenue neutral. So nothing pretty cool too.
So yeah, about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, yeah, the chatter out there and or some of the headlines in the media was that the federal administration was going to cut out nutrition programs, federal nutrition programs to schools, but they put out the one statement saying that there was no intent to do that, and that program will stay home.
Fantastic.
So, thank you very much, Chanel.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Chanel before we move on?
Thank you for the update.
Okay, Mr. John, Superintendent Johnson, you're up.
Okay, my activities will report for the month. You can see the things that I've been involved in. My highlights, of course, is closing the CSD OSDA bargaining session and having an agreement, a tentative agreement with them. That was a big highlight for start of the school year for us. And then back to school and visiting each of the campuses on the first day back to school. And I did go in and see the freshmen and a little bit of their assembly there, and they were just having a ball. I mean, the high school was really having fun. Went over to the middle school, of course, and they had the props up there for the back to school, and all the sixth graders coming in, getting their pictures in front of the props, and then back over here at Creswell. It was a really smooth start to the day. My hats off to the principals for getting it going and launching the school year in the manner that they did, but fabulous work going on at the campuses. Real good vibe across the district. Real good vibe, very positive. Some of the improvements you'll see on the with bond projects and any other facility projects that we have. Anything that is now moved to green has been completed. That means that they were on the list to be completed previously. Now they've moved to that. Next month, they will of course move to the black, but the purple stuff is what we're currently working on and continuing with on bond projects or facilities improvements. Any questions on anything or any of my activities, any of the projects in my report?
I apologize if we said this last month, but did the cooler get finished in high school?
Oh, yeah, it's working perfect. Yeah, it's going great. They're so excited over there to have that. Mhm.
Hi, Mike, because you had mentioned the beginning of the school year, I'll just, huge kudos to the elementary school and the high school both. I knew two families were moving into the community, and so when I reached out to them, I knew them prior as well, but I reached out to them just to see how it was going, and they had kids in elementary and in high school. They said from like the minute they hit the submit for the register, their kiddos, the schools were calling them. So they loved that, how proactive the administrators were on connecting with what their kids needed. And I had texted one family just last week to see how the first week went, and the kids are feeling good about it. So even though it's a sample size of two families, just it makes me feel good knowing how proactive the schools were.
Well, that's good to hear, and
Yeah.
hopefully it keeps coming that way.
Yeah.
As you know, the district has been lifting a new platform district-wide,
Yeah.
Synergy. And Synergy went live in July, but the push out from the buildings it didn't happen until staff returned to the building and then students came in to get scheduled. So a lot of things happen like from August 26th until today. It's a bit just a rush with all of our software getting into this platform. And so we'll get through the bumps. We have a lot of support from outside the district that we brought on board to help us along. And we're looking forward to having this thing up and going full on. It's gonna be great for the district. Very efficient system. Okay, Mike, can you? Yeah.
One thing, when you and Kyle have time, can we arrange for you to meet the homeowners association over across the highway, talk to them, just, they're the ones that let us use those tennis courts. We oughta, when they have, I know you guys are busy now, but later, they meet, their association meets the second Tuesday of every month at about, I think it's about 6 o'clock. But, I'd love it if we could go over there, shake hands and say hi and put faces in front of them. That's a nice facility that we get pretty much free every year, so.
Did you say the time or do you know?
I think it's at 6 o'clock the second Tuesday of every month. Well, I can verify that. You guys let me know when you can get over there.
Okay,
I'd like to do, and it's just a short hour in. who you guys are, so they'll put faces with names and stuff, and I guess you get PR for us.
Great to meet our partners.
Yeah.
They're
They're good people.
Yeah.
Any more questions for Mr. Johnson? No, okay. Marilyn let us know there's no public comment tonight, so we will move to unfinished business, which is a discussion about the board self-evaluation. Within board book, you should be able to see the responses to the board self-evaluation, and any comments that were made. Everyone just a second to find it and look through it if you need to. And if there were any areas that anyone on the board wanted to talk through tonight.
I got one more ready.
You were asked.
I wanted to chat about the communication with the community, because there's multiple comments through several of them about that, and then the rating itself was, we had several that thought we needed some improvement there. So I'd love to talk about what we envision as an improvement. I struggle there because we have Mike as our spokesperson for the board. And I feel like we're communicating, like sometimes over communicating with parents. They're like, oh my gosh, we get so many updates. But I'm like, I want you to have all so I think that's going really well. What are we missing? What gaps of audiences would be one question I have. And then how do we engage with the community on what topics? So there was a comment down here, 0 communication from the board directly to the community. Well, we have Mike as our spokesperson and we're talking about a specific action. So that's gonna be a really formal communication if we have to approve all of that and say, Mike, go make the statement. And I don't know if that's the best use of his time, right? When we're at board functions, I feel like we're all chatting with people. So I don't know what the expectation is there. So I would like to talk more about that. I would love to see that improve, but I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that's very, okay. And maybe that's a question to the group as a whole.
Yeah,
Of those that are concerned, right, that we haven't been communicating, what are the things that we'd like to see different?
Yeah.
Because there probably isn't a lot of times where us as a board are actually gonna go communicate to the community. Like,
Yeah, that's the hard part.
you know,
We go
or
see
this is
workshops.
kind of our communication to. So anyone have thoughts about what you'd like to see different that maybe we're not doing?
This could be an opportunity for a board workshop. If the board wanted to get together and process this stuff and do some brainstorming and come up with some strategies. Yeah,
I think that looking over our evaluation as a whole, we should probably have a workshop. Just so we can figure out how we as a board can function better and how we can communicate and just be better stewards to our district.
Did you have other areas that you, because the communication was the one thread, it seemed like, if there was.
Communication's a big part, advocacy also didn't fare well. But I don't know how much of that we can give, but communication is a really big part of it.
Okay, anyone else have anything, or would we like to get a working session on the books to kind of hash this out?
it can be a good idea.
I'm okay with the work session. One thought I have around communication is if I follow the track of, okay, now we've got a target audience, that's a gap. How do we communicate with them? Or we need to have a communication plan or a strategy. That makes me think we need somebody to our expert over there who can help advise. I mean, we need to do a little bit before we can ask that question, but it may need staff district time to help make sure that we're doing it effectively, whatever the it is.
Well, I think OSBA would have some examples. In each of these areas. Like through a workshop, you could pull those examples in and process those at the workshop.
Maybe we can see what we can glean from the conference in a couple of weeks.
True.
And have the
That's
workshop
what I
afterwards.
Couple of months or weeks.
Well,
This is September,
I don't
right?
even know.
Okay, I just gotta check, because I thought, like, oh my gosh, it's
Whenever you're
really
supposed to go.
November
It goes so
sixth.
fast, it feels like weeks.
It's November sixth.
So, yeah, maybe,
Okay.
yeah.
Month and a half.
November sixth. That's what it says on here.
Say, that was a surprise.
So maybe
I know.
see if we can pull some stuff out of the conference and then have a workshop session or schedule one later.
Yeah, I think that is a really good idea. I don't think it has to be urgent. No. I just, if we got feedback, I want to make sure we're pointing our efforts in the right spot.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. I think if we would prefer a working session, we should probably get it on the books so that everyone has plenty of time. Do we want to do it? A lot of times we used to do our working sessions the week after our board meetings. We haven't had that. So that would be November, mid-November.
That would be. Yeah, if there's no falling things to do.
No, like,
It's the week before Thanksgiving.
yeah,
We would go to conference, we have a board meeting, and then there's the following week before Thanksgiving.
yeah,
Okay.
it'd be the 19th. November 19th. Does that work for everyone? Okay. Marilyn, let's make that happen. Okay, so if you guys want to put on your calendars, does the same time as we have our normal board meetings work, 6 p.m., or do we need to adjust? Okay.
So. The one thing about the 19th, I have a work-related commission that I staff on those Wednesdays that typically follow our board meeting. Would it be possible?
We could do it the 18th.
That would be fantastic. That would eliminate my work conflict.
Does that work, Mary? How does that, I know you have a lot of travel come up. How is that working for you? Good, okay, Mary's a thumbs up, and we'll let Debbie know when I see her. Okay, Tim, does that work for you?
We've switched to the 18th now.
Yeah, is that okay to switch to that?
I think I can make that work, Tuesdays are bad, but
We wanna try Thursday?
I think. The 20th is even worse,
Well, okay,
so let's do the 18th.
18th it is, okay.
Thank you.
18th at 6 p.m. for a board working session on. Do we want to tailor it around a communication plan from the board, or do we want to make it more broad to discuss the board, assessment in general?
I think the assessment in general.
Okay. So let's just put in 2 hours, I think, probably calendar for that, and then we can see what happens. Okay. Wonderful. Anything else on that before we move on? Okay, so then we will move to new business, which is to approve the superintendent evaluation timeline. Can I get a motion for that?
I move to approve the timeline for the superintendent's evaluation.
Thank you.
Second.
In a second, all, any discussion?
Looks very standard. It's worked well for us in the past. I'm hoping it's working right.
It's helping with you.
Okay.
I mean, help us come together, yeah.
Okay, all in favor? Got Mary too, all opposed, motion passes. So we'll just make sure to calendar in the December meeting, that will be our first change. Okay. Next item is to approve the superintendent board working agreement. Can I get a motion to approve?
Move to approve our working agreement between the board and the superintendent.
Second, all, any discussion, anything you think we should change or adjust?
I feel like the way that it's written and how it's broken out, provides me pretty good clarification on where my role is and my responsibilities and. It's not so long that I can actually find things when I need to remind myself what I'm supposed to be doing.
Very, it's well spaced. The spacing on is excellent.
I actually appreciate that, the older my eyes get, so.
Okay, anything else? Okay, all in favor? All opposed, motion passes. Next is to approve the CSD OSPA collective bargaining. I'll get a motion.
I make a motion to approve this.
So, any discussion?
I'd like to make a comment.
Yes,
And, this is in reference to this and the process. We reached a tentative agreement with the, OSDA on a 3-year contract for 2025 through 28. The bargaining session was a traditional, it was important to understand that it was a traditional bargaining session. That was the format that began on April 28th, 2025. We had 7 2-hour bargaining sessions. When we reached a 3-year tentative agreement on August 21, 2025. The tentative agreement was ratified by the OSCA membership on August 28, 2025. And at this time, I'm recommending this proposed agreement for your approval. I want to acknowledge and thank the board team members that represented the board in this bargaining session. Superintendent's labor committee members, Director Cox and Director Anderson. CSD administrator team members on the board lead team was Amy Aguero, accompanied by Principal Alley, Principal Johansson, Business Manager Chanel Green, and Labor Consultant Tim Keeley. And also like to express my appreciation to Brianna Manzone for assisting the board team with financial estimates and contract revisions for counter proposals throughout the entire process. She worked hard too, really hard. So then you have my recommendation for this agreement.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, all in favor? Shoot the work. All opposed? Motion carries. Nicely done, Mr. Johnson. The next item is to approve the confidential and professional agreement. Can I get a motion?
I move to approve the agreement, with our professional staff and confidential staff.
Any discussion or statement?
Yes, I do have one. I'm presenting you with a proposed 3-year agreement between Creswell School District and the confidential and professional employee group for your formal approval. It is the practice of the Creswell School District Board of Directors to delegate the negotiating authority to the superintendent for non-collective bargaining employee groups. However, at my request, the superintendent's labor committee members, Director Cox and Director Anderson, collaborated with me to review the following criteria to develop a fair, equitable, and sustainable agreement. Review the proposals from the confidential and professional group members in regards to their agreement. The alignment of compensation and benefits with other CSD employee groups to see that things are all within the piece of the pie, so to speak. And then doing comparisons with other districts and private markets so that we're competitive in our compensation and benefits. And so then you have before you their proposed agreement for your formal approval.
Looks great.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Okay, let's vote, all in favor? All opposed, oh, sorry, Mary, all opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next is more of a discussion, we were talking and there's just probably been some time since we have had OSBA here. Do you have a question? for me? Oh, no, sorry, I thought you looked at me like you have your question. Like, I don't wanna, Marilyn has a question, I wanna stop, make sure it's answered. We've been talking, and I think we just haven't had OSBA here in a while to do, sessions with us or trainings. So we wanted to put in here just a quick reminder to everyone to read the documents that we have included about board member roles and responsibilities, best practices, questions about separation of duties. And there's even some flyers in here if you have questions, ways to reach out to OSBA and ask clarifying questions if you so choose. So this was more of a reminder for all of us as a board of just kind of what our role is and bringing some of that back to the forefront. I think all of us would be probably good to look at page 5 of the document, just as a reminder of our division of duties. It's sometimes in a small district and we all wear many, many hats. It's easy to sometimes we forget or get caught up in what we're doing. There's also on page 6, some information about how to do an Ask OSBA. So if you're ever confused or you just want clarification about something and maybe you don't have time to come to one of us, you can always reach directly out to them. That's why we contract with them. There's some good details or information around board meetings, special meetings, and some good reminders for all of us about executive sessions. We don't have a lot of them, but when we do, it's important that we follow all the appropriate rules. Some information about the board chairman, just some good reminders about email etiquette around board members. Keep in mind, it's probably something we say every year, but Mike emails us at something or Marilyn emails. It's really important we don't reply back to all, you know, because then it just can look like we're having a meeting when we're not. So you're always welcome to reply back to Mr. Johnson. Or if you aren't gonna be in a meeting, let me and Mary know, but just, we need to be kind of careful, not just us as a board, but all boards, to not have that look of having a meeting when that obviously isn't our intention. Some reminders of the ethics board, which we will all be reminded about when we have to do our trainings and whatnot, probably next year. And then some people may not be aware, but at the very end, there are a handful of Creswell district policies around school board meetings. So there's one about executive sessions. So if you haven't read it, I think it's always good just to remind yourself what are our own policies to review. Those about our expectations, and then not the fun one, but just to make sure we're all aware, you know, there's policies around removal. Or not that I think any of that would happen, but I think it's probably prudent of us to remind ourselves that these are all out there. And some people said recently, I didn't even know there were policies out there, so go check. I mean, I looked at policies today about other things, so policies are fun. As I keep on reminding everyone to read policies, but just a reminder. Bless your heart. Okay, unless there's any questions or anything anyone wants to add, we can move on to the next item. Which is, which is a discussion about the OSBA roadshow. So is this really the OSBA one? Did it come out right after I asked you?
It is,
Okay.
Let's see, who that, I shot a memo over to Tony.
Okay.
Sturgill, and they were holding on to the information until they could get things together over there, just Plain County, so. We got it first thing,
Wonderful.
and we got it first.
Yes, even better. I think we've had a pretty good showing at the OSBA road shows. I think our board, what are those called, evaluations mentioned advocacy, and this is one of our ways we can be an advocate without having to go to Salem. So if anyone's interested, I think actually 4 of us might have gone, 3 or 4 of us might have gone last year. There was a lot of us. I would encourage anyone to go. Is it gonna be back at CSD? Okay, and this is where OSBA will come and give us a rundown of their legislative priorities this year, and where we can voice our concern or our encouragement of those priorities. So October 14th on your calendar, usually they feed you dinner too. if you're interested. Yes, ma'am.
So if you're going to attend, if you like me to respond for you, let me know. Dinner's at 6. Please students.
They want to RSVP.
Yeah, I would also like to go. I would also like to go.
Okay.
Is
Just to
it,
the meeting, or do you want dinner? Dinner's at 6, leave at 6:30.
We usually make 6.
6, right? I'll let them know.
it could be interesting. It was rather intriguing last year.
Oh, yeah.
There was a little kerfuffle. Not about us.
It was a road show.
It was a road show last year. Okay. Any other discussion or questions? If you didn't give Marilyn your, hey, I wanna go tonight, just email her, maybe within the next week or two, so that she can RSVP for you. Thank you very much. Next is just a reminder of the OSBA convention. Here's a little flyer. Oh, I'm gonna keep it myself, of what is coming up in the annual convention, and I believe everyone but one person has let Marilyn know if they're going, so if you're that one person, I don't know who it is, just let her know, give her a little heads up. If you were still on the fence, I think one person's on the fence, right? So just let her know so she can make the reservations and we can participate. Okay, I think next is trustee reports. Mike, do you mind going first? I'm sure.
Yeah, that might be.
Okay.
Let's see, been to a football game, which I thought the skydiver part was really cool. You got, whoever helped you did a great job with that. That was neat. The Lane ESD meeting, was football practice. We were involved in a couple of union negotiations, and I gotta be really nice, but they're not negotiators at all. But I think it could have been a lot quicker if we wouldn't have had their rep, and we wouldn't have had ours and just sat down and got it done in a couple of sessions, but that's just me. And somebody felt a dead fir tree over by the high school, a buddy of mine and I cut it up and it disappeared this weekend, so somebody has to look after that. And that's it.
Thank you very much.
I didn't cut up the fir tree, but.
I'm writing that down as -2 points.
For the football.
Okay, you're back. Points are, word.
I feel like I'm living all things football right now, which is great. I love it. So I've been to some games, I've been to all the team dinners. I also got to join Mike with some of these bargaining sessions that we've had and finish these contracts, which was great to be able to finish them and get 3-year contracts with them. I don't think I've done anything else. Just football. A lot, that's a lot. Yes, so thank you. Enjoyed the football game last week. And IRC is starting up and going again. I think we have the upper grades starting this week. And the younger ones are starting next week, so I get to start in kindergarten next week. And I believe Mr. Johnson is a new 1-a-day volunteer. So what grade are you volunteering in? Do you know yet?
I told them I'm a utility guy. I'll pay in wherever they need.
I am super glad that you're gonna do that. I think our volunteers are super excited that you did that, so thank you.
Oh, great. I didn't know the news was out, but.
Oh, it's all about us.
Oh.
Are they times where like it's first thing in the morning, or where in the schedule does it work out? Reading block in the elementary schools in the morning, and so I I think we are in our 12th or 13th year of IRC, and the reason I say that is because the elementary school loves the fact that we come, and so they schedule their reading block so that it works. So first thing in the morning, like 8:30 is when the younger grades start, and then second and third go the next block. That way, for example, I'm totally using this as a like public service announcement. So if there's a volunteer that has all morning, they can start in a lower grade and also help with a higher grade, like K1 and then 2, 3. It only works with my schedule to do 8:30 to 9:30 on Fridays. That's the only time that my work, I can commit to coming. So if there's something that you want to do, you tell our coordinators like, hey, I can do Tuesdays, or I can do Friday mornings, but it's only at the 10 o'clock time.
Is it every day?
It's every day. But you can do 1 day, you can do 5 days, you can do 2 hours.
You can also be a sub.
Yeah,
They
You
also
can-
need subs.
you can also be a substitute on different days.
Okay.
So if you want to, we will connect you to, and just tell them what your availability is. We will take all volunteers. If you've got time. Well, I think there's a screening process,
I
right?
hear you have to go back.
It's a tough process,
It's-
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Tough to get in.
I mean,
there.
if I let my Johnson in.
High standard, way up.
Wait,
Yeah.
alright.
So, but it's very cool, because it's a formal way that you get to help with the kids, help in a very impactful way. They do training, so. Like, I don't make a lot of them because they're Wednesdays closer to noon and I can't get off work then. But for volunteers, that's like the time where they get refreshers, how-tos, they're struggling with the kiddo. Teachers come in and do presentations, like it's a wonderful program. So you will feel supported and the teachers will.
Yeah, I can't wait to say like, I read 1,100 books this year when they're like. Put it in your Goodreads.
I know. It's very fun to be in kindergarten because the kids come in and it's kind of like they're feral cats, like they don't know how to be at the beginning of the year. And the energy, I just kind of love it. I love the energy, but I get to be more of a mom than like the teacher that has to establish appropriate behavior. But by the end of the year, these kids know what they're doing. Mrs. Raines just has to say, go, and they know how to line up, they know how to space, they know where their stuff is, they know how to log into their iPads, which is amazing when you look at the passwords they have to do. They know how to read whole sentences, they're reading books. When at the beginning of the year, if you could get 4 kids to sit across your rainbow table for the whole 10 minutes, like that's a win. So I just love it. I hope I never have to move from kindergarten because it's perfect for me. Anyway, okay, thank you for asking because I love talking about IRC.
And that, application is on our website, FYI.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and I had one question, actually.
Sure.
So I got an email, I'm not sure if others did, it's from Pacific Research Org. I've interacted with them in some work-related stuff, but the webinar that I got advertised for, and I was wondering if it would be good, or if this is gonna, I don't think it's a sales pitch. It's how will the Department of Ed downsizing affect school districts in Oregon? Has anybody else gotten this?
But they haven't put out anything about how they're downsizing.
Exactly. So this
But
is.
if that means they'll streamline the reports.
I don't think that's what it means, actually.
This is September 17th. Should I attend? Like, check it out and see?
Sure. If that's something you feel comfortable, I think it would be good.
Political advocacy.
Well, I just haven't, like, as I read what's happening with the federal government, I don't see specifics, so I didn't know what to expect and I didn't want to waste my time. But, okay, well, I will register and check it out and then reply. Okay, thank you. That's it for me.
Tim, any updates?
So after doing the board evaluation, I had nothing.
Okay. Very good. I don't have a lot. I went to the leadership meeting. We have a policy meeting coming up, so you'll all hear about that once we have it. I've gone to a couple volleyball games, I think 2, maybe 3, but that's because volleyball is my favorite thing to watch, so I like to go to volleyball games. Don't Well, I think it was fun to watch. And I watched one football game online. We were out of town, but I watched it online, so I got to see it. And I've been looking at the middle school schedule. And so if anyone's interested, there's the 8th grade girls volleyball game next week. So I'm trying to make my way to that. Okay, anything for the good of the order?
Are all of you able to see the schedule of games and activities at the high schools before they happen? You all have access to that?
Just look at it on the website.
I actually don't have to go to the website. I get those emails, like the sports weekly
Oh.
emails that come. So I use those. So I haven't checked the website if I haven't, but I would imagine so.
Okay. Just making sure.
Okay.
I don't get parents word, but I just check the website. Okay.
Mary's.
Oh, sorry, Mary.
It's okay. I feel so far away. I went to a couple football games and I went to our leadership and I will be attending the policy meeting. So that's coming up. So yeah, you guys will hear about how riveting that is. That's it.
Thank you, Mary. I apologize for missing you. Okay.
It's okay.
Just a reminder that on the agenda is always a call for future agenda items, so if you think of something, please just feel free to bring it up here, forward it to Mary and I. We meet with Mike the Thursday before the board meeting, so if you have anything before then, just send it to us and we will work on getting something on the agenda. With that, I think we're adjourned.